We are the manufacturer of Assistix, the assistive call system. I want to tell you something about this innovative system in the next 15 minutes. We start with all this stuff what has to be there. I will tell you a few points. I will tell you about the different ways to communicate, about security and privacy, and what are assistive call systems from our point of view. And then the Assistix call system, I will show you how it works and how it can help you. And I will tell about the combination of AAC devices and the Assistix call system. Well, communication can be defined as an exchange of information, thoughts, feelings, etc. By using speech or AAC devices or other means. But I think it's very, very important that you are able to call somebody in a secure way. I think that's the basic need of everybody and the basic functionality of a communication device. And that's the reason why we are thinking that a call system is the most important fundamental method of communication. If you look at people, especially who are using a communication device, their first need is that they are able to call somebody, not to tell them complex sentences, etc. The first thing is you want to be able to call somebody and to raise awareness about you, for example. Well, so we see that AAC devices are for everyday communication with others, and assistive call systems are for urgent communication activated by the user. But also the systems can be used for urgent communication, for example, activated by monitoring systems like pulse oximeters or other things. Because sometimes the user is no longer able to activate a call. So, for example, with the pulse oximeter, it's automatically done. And I think the important things are the feeling for the user. He needs to feel secure. He needs to know that his call system really works. It's not like a pager, you press a button and then there's an alarm somewhere, so you have to be sure that the alarm is going to the carer, relevant, etc., etc. And also the other thing is that it's about privacy. It's a basic need, and if you are sure that your call system is really working and secure, it's possible that you are staying alone, for example, in a room. If you're not sure that it's working, every 5, 6, 10 minutes somebody has to take care of you and looking everything is okay, and it goes back. So the privacy and security are the important thing, I think, what we can deliver with a assistive call system. An assistive call system is characterized by safety by design. That means from a technical point of view, it has to be secure. That's absolutely the first priority, even at our Assistix call system. Security is the priority one, top level, very, very important. On the other side, it has to be its flexibility. You have to be able to activate in a different and individual methods. It's totally different from the users what they can use. Some of them can use a switch, others need a sip and puff switch or an EMG sensor or whatever. That has to be, you have to be able to individualize the call system. That's why we also call it assistive call system. And also it has to be reliable, because in everyday use, we know, that's our experience, sometimes a device is thrown on the floor, or it should not break, and also be a little bit of water resistant, etc., etc. So that's also an important point, reliability. And simplicity. If you have a very complicated system with a lot of features, nobody will use it. For example, if your car has 3 steering wheels, depending on Autobahn and if you're driving the city, etc., you will be very confused. So it's very simple to have only one steering wheel, not a complex system. So I think that's also an important thing, and we know a lot of products which have a lot of features, and you can individualize it very, very well, but in daily use, it's too complicated. So simplicity, I think that's also a very important point on an assistive call system. Well, and to go more in reality, to see how the real product is working, I will show you our Assistix Mobile. That's the reason why it is not mobile. It's because we are from Germany, and when we designed this product, we had only the focus on the German market, so it's mobile. But we call it Assistix. That makes it a lot easier, and forget the mobile part of the name. And really, this system fulfills all the needs I described before. It's a secure, flexible, easy to use, simplicity, reliability, etc. And I will explain a little bit how it works, and then I will do this in reality so you can see how it works on the device. We had these 2 points: security. That's priority 1. That's it uses a safe frequency and is based on the German regulation, the VDE 0834, which is a very hard definition how this has to work. Every call is safely confirmed. You have to confirm every call so the user is sure that somebody is activated and confirmation, etc. Then we have a monitoring function. The battery and the functionality is monitored by the whole time, and also the connection. If you have external switches connected, everything is monitored. So if something is going wrong in the system, you will get an alarm on the receiver. And we have a visual, acoustic, and vibration signal. It depends on what you can hear, see. If you have the pager in your pocket, it will vibrate, and you can switch off this functionality. What you cannot switch off completely is the acoustic feedback, the sound, for security reasons, as security is on the top level. Well, the other thing is, no, let's go back. In principle, you have a receiver and a transmitter, and you can activate the call different ways, but I do this now by pressing this red button. You will see no, I think you can hear it. There's a red light that indicates that the call is received by the receiver. If it's out of range or not switched on, there will be another confirmation light. And then the caregiver or whoever is confirming, yes, I got the call. And the patient can see with the green light, it's confirmed. Now you really have to go to the user and confirm it finally by pressing the key on the transmitter, and then it's switched off. If you're not going to the user, you will get a reminder, a new alarm until you press this confirmation button. That makes it very, very secure. If you are out of range, for example, too far away with your receiver from the transmitter, you will get an out of range alarm. If the battery is low on the transmitter, you will get an alarm. So you can be very sure that your alarm system is working. If you are out of range, you will get an alarm, and as soon as you are back in range, no alarm will be lost. The alarm will then come to the receiver. So, for example, you are going to the cellar and to get something, and it's not received. But as soon as you are back, you will receive the call. These security features, I think that's an important thing on this device. No, flexible. This receiver, as I told you, you can press the red button, but most of the people are using an external switch. For example, a switch like this, but it can be every switch. And there's a connector, a jack plug, and this is a special jack plug. This is a patent of ours. You can connect whatever you like. It automatically recognizes what you have connected. It supports standard switches, that means normally open contacts, but also normally closed, or switches who need a power supply, like an acoustic switch, a proximity switch, or whatever. When you connect the switch to the device, it automatically recognizes what you have connected. In this case, it's a normally closed switch. Now you can press the switch, and it's doing an alarm. When you have confirmed it, go to the patient, confirm it finally. So you can connect almost everything what's on the market switches, because the individual needs are totally different. So that makes it very, very flexible. What you can do also is, you see, I disconnected the switch and there's a special alarm. You see, S for switch, that means disconnection. Then you have to confirm it, go to the user and confirm it. Some users cannot activate this by themselves, so you have a ventilator or a pulse oximeter. And we have special interface cables you can connect to the alarm output of the medical device, like a ventilator or a pulse oximeter, and then connect this to a transmitter, and it automatically recognizes how this is working. And then, for example, if the pulse oximeter is doing an alarm, it goes through the alarm system. That means, for example, a pulse oximeter is beeping if something's wrong, if you're out of range, for example. And that is forwarding the alarm to the Assistix alarm system. That makes it very flexible in intensive home care, for example. And it's very often used in Germany. That's quite a standard to use a device like this, because especially in COVID times, hygienic reasons, you have to close the doors. You cannot hear the alarm of a pulse oximeter or ventilator, and that makes it really very secure, even if the user cannot activate the alarm by himself. Okay, I have to confirm it. What you can do also, you can use your communication device. I will show this a little bit later, because the transmitter has a built-in infrared sensor. I will show this a little bit later. So you see, you have a very flexible system, and I think that's an important functionality. Then everyday use, it's really simple to use. For the caregivers, they need to know, I have to confirm it, go to the patient, confirm. That's all you need to do. The charging needs to be very easy. We have docking stations. You just have to put the receiver in there, and we have a secure called S-charger. So that's a normal micro USB port, but you can put it on the wrong way into the connector. But this cannot happen with our charging stations and S-chargers, etc. So that's also an important thing, because in reality, the most damages on devices are the connectors, as you perhaps know. Then it's flexible mounting. This is compatible with all the mounting systems, for example, Readapt or Magic Arm, whatever you like to have. We have magnetic mounting systems to make it really easy to mount the device, because mounting is important, that is not be in the bed or on the side, etc., etc. What I told you already is the automatic device and switch detection. So you have not to take care of what are you connecting. If you connect something which is not working, for example, a headset with the same connector, it will not work. So you can be sure if you have connected, that it recognizes what it is and how, if it's possible that it works. So that makes it very easy to use. Then we have a long battery lifetime. That means the transmitter is running for 3 days, depending a little bit on what you have connected, if this needs some power. And also the receiver is made for 1 day use. Normally it's 1.5 days. But we say if it's running 12 hours for sure, that's perfect. And what you can do also in the receiver, I think it's a little bit too far away. The name who is appearing in display, you can modify this very easily. So you can see room number 7 or the name of the Alex or whatever the user is. Then the caregivers can see what happens. For example, you can say pulse oximeter Carl. So you know exactly, oh, pulse oximeter, I have to be very fast. If it's not a medical device, you have a little bit more time. So that makes it very easy to use, and you have not to take care about numbers and other caller 1 or caller 2. Teamwork. This is mainly used in residential groups, nursing home and clinic areas where we have more than one caller, more than one user. So you can connect up to 32 transmitters to a receiver. That means you can also use an almost unlimited number of receivers, so one call can go to different receivers. So you have like a small nurse call system. You don't need a central station or something like this. If an alarm is going to more than one receiver, you have to confirm it on the receiver, as I did it before. And if you confirm it on one receiver, this receiver tells all the other receivers, I already received it. The reason is you want not to have that all the caregivers are running to one room. Only the one who confirmed the call as the first one. So this system automatically recognizes what's going on and makes it very, for the everyday use, it's very important, this functionality. If you want to cover a huge space and the range is too far, the range is between 300 feet and 1,000 feet, depending on the building or if it's outside. But we have repeaters, so you can extend the range. You can connect up to 8 repeaters, and then you can see you can cover the whole building with this system, and the repeaters are very easy to install. Well, and that's what I want to show you as the last point. Because we are running a campaign currently, we are thinking that all the AAC users, AAC device users, need a call system. Because you can just speak, but nobody will hear you. So the first thing is you need a call system which is very durable, flexible, etc., etc. That means you can use your AAC device using touchscreen, eye control, scanning, etc. The only need is that your communication device has an environmental control functionality, means an infrared transmitter. Now I will show you how it works. In the transmitter, there's a built-in infrared receiver. It's hidden behind this small display. And if your communication device, I have a sample that's a grid pad with Smartbox, but it works also with Tobii and all the other devices which are supporting environmental control. And if I'm pressing, in this case, that's a sample, this alarm button, you see, this device sends an infrared signal to the transmitter, and then you have the alarm, and you have to go to the patient, confirm it, or to the user. And this connection is made very easily. You have just to train the code, or the code is already delivered with the software. So it makes it very easy to combine your AAC device with this call system. That means we are covering the whole range of individual needs and capabilities to call somebody. Press a button, zip and puff switch, pulse oximeter, ventilator, communication device, and everything is done in a very secure way. And that's the campaign we are currently running. Assured calling with your AAC device. And that's also available at our booth. It's the booth number 312. Yeah, you can test it or try it. Yeah, that's it about the Assistix call system. And I hope it was interesting information for you. And I would like to be happy if you join us at our booth a little bit later to look at the device. Thank you very much.
What was your booth number again?
312. Thank you.